future is here. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. The game changer is here. Card Ladder.
Welcome to Kristina's Corner. Today, I'm chatting with Dan Baumfeld and Frank Murphy, two very talented gentlemen. Dan is a baseball artist who uses mixed media in his pieces, which create a depth and a multi-dimensional aspect in his cards. And Frank is a children's literature author who tells empowering stories that teach kids to embrace their unique selves. He also creates custom art pieces using sports cards. It's an honor to sit down with you both tonight. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristina.
So let's get straight into it. Everyone wants to know, when did you begin collecting?
I feel like in terms of the people you've met, I am late to the game. I think it was like 11 or 12. Topps, 1987 Topps was the first year I started collecting. So I've been collecting all my life. And I think like everyone else you've ever interviewed, you took a lull in your 20s and 30s. And then having kids and the pandemic has really just brought card collecting like roaring back. So I'm sure you've heard that a lot.
I have, but it's always fun to hear again.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. I think I'm 53, so I was born in 66. I think I started really collecting. I was born in California, moved to Philly when I was 8, probably started then. And this is going to be really like sacrilegious for Philly people, but somehow keep in mind, I was born in California. I was a Cowboys fan to start, but eventually I transformed into an Eagles fan. So I remember collecting Roger Staubach cards, and I would send them to him, and he would sign them and send them back, and he would send me autographed pictures and stuff. I like it, Dan. There you go. So then, I collected here and there. Back in the late 80s, I really collected a lot of Bo Jackson cards, like a lot, like maybe hundreds. And other people, Kenny Lofton. I once golfed in back of Kenny Lofton, so I always loved Kenny Lofton, so I would collect his cards too. But then got out of it, like Dan said, and then life gets in the way. And then actually this whole pandemic and everything and being home more, I discovered the Topps 2020 project, and that really got me back into it a lot more.
All right. And who's your favorite Topps 2020 artist and or card?
I'll let Dan go first.
I think there are different answers to this. I know Frank's answer. It's funny because I don't know how long I'm supposed to talk about this, but it started, like, I think when the Topps project came out, I was like, I saw that Ermsey card and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, this is so weird. And now Ermsey is like my favorite artist on that show. But really, it's like, there's none of the artists that I can point to be like, I don't really like them. Like, they're all just incredible in their own way. But I think Ermsey, and I really love Fucci's style. Am I saying that right? Fucci?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And Sophia's incredible. Blake is amazing. Like, I've had just so many good experiences. But
yeah, for me,
you go for your Frank. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously Sophia Chang. Everybody knows that. I'm one of her biggest fans. So the first card I bought was Matt Taylor's Roberto Clemente. I love Roberto Clemente. I also collected Clemente cards. But hold on one second. Hey. All right. And so then I heard about the Topps 2020 project, didn't get involved, didn't look at it. Then I followed different card collectors, and Pfeffer's Club, his name's Feff, he mentioned something on an Instagram post. I'm like, let me check this out. Saw Matt Taylor's, bought it. Then I looked at all the cards, all the artists, and Sophia's cards just stood out to me, researched her, and she's hands down my favorite. Although I've interacted with Blake, I love his work. I love King Saladin. Those are my 3 favorite. But there's like F-Dot's Jackie Robinson is off the charts card. So there's so many all the artists are great, like Dan said. But for me, it's Sophia. I am a pretty exclusive Sophia collector.
Nice.
We sort of call him the mayor of Project 2020. I think
in the Sophia chat rooms, but nowhere else.
we're in all the Discord chats and things like that. So
Nice. That's awesome. So who do you collect besides Sophia Chang and Project 2020?
That's a good question. I think it started out as a kid with Nolan Ryan being my favorite player. It's since grown. Like I love collecting Ichiro. I love most all Dodgers. I got my Dodge. Your camera's backwards. I want to point this way.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Yeah,
this way. But most all Dodgers, Cody Bellinger. Yeah, it's just. And then I also like got into like investing. So I have like a COMC account, and I've been trying to. It's really crazy. Like all this has hit since the pandemic. It's just been like my life has been baseball for the last 2 months. It feels like.
So for me, I do as an adult collect basketball cards because basketball is my favorite sport. I've coached basketball for years. I don't coach anymore, but this is one of my all-time favorite cards. Jimmy Butler's probably my favorite player, and this is him on the Sixers. But the swatch is him on the it's a Timberwolves jersey. So I got him for. It was like a dream come true to get Jimmy Butler on the Sixers, and then it didn't last. It was less than a year, but I collect cards of players who I love. I love Sixers players. I mean, I know who Cam Reddish is. I know his family well. He plays for the Hawks. My son played with him. He played for all-star games that I organized. So I collect Cam Reddish cards. Lonnie Walker's another guy I know. I collect his cards. Guys who make it in the NBA. If Lamar Stevens makes it or Quade Green makes it, I'll collect their cards because I know who those guys are. And I coach them. Yeah,
that's an amazing connection to then be able to support them through your card collection.
Yeah. It's fun for sure.
Yeah. So what are your top 3 favorite cards? And if you have more than 3, you can throw them in. I won't keep track.
Your first Dan.
Can we do rock, paper, scissors?
You go. You always take the question first, Dan. Go ahead, brother.
No, I know, but I can't think of what they are. I think
this is one of my favorites. Obviously, this is Sophia Chang's Ichiro. Actually, this card made me get into him even more. I was just telling my buddy tonight that I didn't get to see him play as much as I would have liked. This is one of my all-time favorite cards that I just showed before. Yep. And I would say, Dan, I'm not just doing this, man. You know how I feel about this card. Dan made this card for me. It's a Bo Jackson card. I love Bo Jackson over any athlete probably. And this will always be one of my favorite cards. I mean, you can't really – his cards are phenomenal. There's just so many things to say about his cards. I've never seen anyone do anything like this. So moving it shows you the reflector, refractor kind of thing, and the depth of it. It's just really cool. So this, I wouldn't sell this for anything.
Nice. It's a beautiful card.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Frank is like the lead bidder on all of my auctions going on eBay right now.
Kristina, when I was backstage waiting for you, I got an alert that I got outbid on his Mike Trout card right now. So I went right on. I'm like, I got to get off this thing and go make sure I bid higher. I thought it was ending, but it ends in 2 hours. But I jacked my bid up and had to put my max bid in. I was just tweeting to Matt Costello. He's on Blake's team. And I'm like, man, I'm winning that card. I don't care.
Yeah, I put him up to see like what is, I kind of wanted to see like what the value of my art is, right? What does this go for on the open market? And I wanted to I was going to do the marketing push where like a day late, don't forget my Mike Trout ends in a day. But since Frank's winning him, I don't want him to lose him. So I haven't posted anything about him. So
that's awesome.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, you have a card right now that I didn't. Again, we text every day a lot, but I didn't even know that card was up for charity.
Yeah,
the Griffey card's phenomenal. I'm thinking, man, this card's awesome. I think someone's already like $154. Oh wow, there it is. That looks awesome. Yeah. I've only seen a picture of it.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dan.
So it's the charities. I think Adopt a Minor Leaguer, right, Dan?
Yeah. In fact, I heard about that from Blake's podcast, Blake's live stream. One of the guys they were talking and was the Adopt a Minor Leaguer. And that is amazing for me because I live in Seattle, but I love minor league baseball. Like we drive up to Everett to see the Aqua Sox. I got season tickets there. Every summer I take my kids on a minor league baseball road trip. Like we went to Texas one year and hit a bunch of stadiums in Texas. And last year we went to the Gulf Coast. So all the way from Louisiana all the way to Florida, we hit minor league baseball. So
that's really cool, man.
Yeah. So minor league baseball is like near to my heart kind of thing. So
That's
So
awesome.
all the funds, Kristina, I think all the funds, 100%, right?
100%.
Yeah, go towards that. Cool.
Wow.
And I said I'd make them one every month. So
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm a fan, as my audience knows, of a good road trip. But instead of minor league ballparks, I stop at card shops. And yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, I did
I thought
a Pacific Northwest tour last summer. There are a lot of card shops between LA and Seattle. A lot.
Kristina, do you have a favorite card?
Oh goodness.
You asked us, girl. We got to ask you.
Way to put me on the spot, Frank. I always cop out of this question, and I say it's my Chris McGill 1/1 custom upper deck card. It's in a SGC slab. It's my boyfriend. We at a card show. Upper Deck was there, and you can take photos, and they put it onto a card for you.
That's cool.
SGC was there, so we sent them in through SGC
so cool.
and got them authenticated.
Was it a 9? What'd you get?
Authenticated. They wouldn't give me a grade.
Oh, they wouldn't give you a grade?
Yeah, I know. But I always cop out and say that one. But it's just so hard. As my audience knows, like I think of cards as little pieces of art.
Yes.
So trying to choose your favorite artwork is like, it like hurts my soul.
No, definitely. And you know what? It changes because like I know Dan will say the same thing. So I'm waiting on a couple cards from Sophia that she'll embellish with autographs and more. So those cards will quickly become like heirlooms, you know, just to have an embellished Mike Trout card will be phenomenal. And by the way, her Mike Trout card is off the charts. For me, that's the best card in this whole top spot.
Yeah.
2020.
It was a gorgeous card.
Does that come with the baseball too? Did you get one of the baseball ones?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the ones that have like 3 of them, she embellishes a whole baseball, and it was gorgeous.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You'll have to make sure to tag me when you post that on Instagram, Frank.
I will for sure. I will.
Okay, so you don't have to have a favorite card, but what are some of your favorite cards?
Or players
of people you don't live with.
Of people I don't live with. Well, I guess I can't say no. I collect Luka Doncic, and then our other PC, and then our other PC guy is Michael Jordan. So
hold on 1 second, Kristina.
Yeah. Play the like Jeopardy theme song.
Yeah, is there some or what's that? The Benny Hill music? We just need like Frank running back and forth.
No, I got a bunch of Luka cards. I'll try to send you one. I'll look through this, but I just sold these on eBay, but the guy hasn't paid me yet. So it was like it's one of these prisms.game. I really like this card.
Oh yeah.
That would be never like $13, and then I have.
I don't understand the question mark though. Like, are they asking if he has game?
I know.
Because it's a definite. Like, you don't have to ask that question.
He does. I know.
Maybe it's like the got milk. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a rhetorical question.
So do you have some Luka cards though, Kristina?
I do. I have his Grails. So I have his Prism Gold.
Nice.
And I have his RPA. I bought them last.
Did you land those or you bought those? Okay.
I bought them like super early last summer. So way before prices skyrocketed. It's like the price we paid was outrageous at the time, but now like I wouldn't even want to know what one goes for.
Yeah.
Well, you got a product that can look them up.
I know. If only there was an app.
I know. So nice tie-in. Speaking of Card Ladder, turns out when they first started, I was like, I got to get a deal on this. I'm gonna DM them on Instagram and see what kind of deal they'll give me.
Oh.
And it turns out I was talking to Kristina.
Yeah.
I saw you guys message that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm the jack of all trades of the organization at the moment. So like pretty much anything that needs to be done somehow falls in my lap for Card Ladder. So one of the things is customer relations. So I'm the one who answers everyone's DMs and emails.
It seems like such a cool project.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. We're all nerds at heart, literally. So we're having a lot of fun with the research and the analytics of the data. And then being able to bring something and our passion project to the hobby has been amazing. I'm not artistic like you guys. So this is my way of like contributing to the hobby in the way that you guys create. This is our creation. Like this is our artwork. It's just super nerdy.
Well, I don't know, art can be anything. Like actually, my day job is I'm a programmer, just like everyone else in Seattle.
Okay.
And I've always thought of programming as like digital carpentry. You're just making things digitally, and it's kind of a form of art. So I think working with data, there's like an art to it. You know, working with business and all that. So.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I really love interacting with everyone. All of our members are just amazing people. And like I said, it's a passion project. I told you before, like I slept like 3 hours last night.
Crazy. Do you have a Discord server? Frank and I'll join it.
Yeah, Kristina, this is an art. What you're doing here. I mean, the art of the interview. All of this, you know, you can look at anything as art. So it really is.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure my mom is glad that I'm putting my anthropology degree to use in some fashion.
My son's majoring at Pitt in sociocultural anthropology and business marketing, a double major. So I was told anthro is good, man. Anthro, you can go a lot of places with anthro.
Yeah.
Except being an anthropologist, because there's only like 8,000 of them in the world, I think. So.
No, there's like not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went grad school for like a hot minute, and then it was like, yeah, no. Yeah.
So wait, is there a Discord server for the card ladder?
There is, yes.
All right, Frank, we're joining that next.
Yeah. When you signed up for Card Ladder, you got an email, like a welcome email, and it had a link in there for the Discord.
Oh yeah, I totally read all that.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just my passion project, Dan. Yeah. I'm kidding. For anyone listening to this, like I'm smiling during this interview. Okay, so yeah, Card Ladder, cardladder.com, cardladder.com. Don't want my partners mad at me. So let's get back to cards though. This is not one big Card Ladder infomercial.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan, you haven't gone yet. Did you go?
What are we talking about? Oh, my favorite cards.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cards ever is, I think, a card I got back in the day, you know, before I had dropped off and came back. And I was like looking through my box of Nolan Ryans, and I had a 69 Nolan Ryan. It wasn't his rookie year, but it was the one right afterwards. And to me, because you know, it's not something that I could buy now that I bought then, it makes it a lot more special. Yeah. I was like, oh, I bought this when I had no money. That's awesome. So that's one of my favorite ones.
Have you caught up on Nolan Ryan yet? I forget.
Dude, there are so many cards. Actually, that's the one thing that's kind of crazy is COMC makes it so easy to do that. You just like put that one in my cart, put that one in my cart. It's like a nickel for all these cards. So no, at some point I'll probably go through and buy a bunch of the old Nolan Ryans that are in like PSA 2s.
Yeah.
But I can get for like $10 or something like that.
I'll bid on those, man.
Because it doesn't have to be pretty. I just like having the old cards.
Yeah.
So, I like vintage cards. I like modern cards. You know, I'm a sucker for like the 1-of-1s or low prints. I went through a big autograph phase where I bought tons of cards that were like autographs of players. So.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 1-of-1s. I have a very nice 1-of-1 right here.
Ooh.
Let me.
Oh wow.
Oh, is that Card Killer?
Yep, this is Card Killer's first Jordan.
Oh, that is that is amazing.
Yeah.
He gave me a big shout out in his story the other day.
Yes, he did.
I know. I was stunned.
Oh, I don't know why you would be stunned.
I don't know. I've never met him before.
Yeah, awesome too. Yeah, that, and then my other one that I'm really proud of is my Net Marvels Luka Doncic that I got this past Christmas.
Are those the ones that look like comic books? Those cards are beautiful. Like, I wish they had baseball cards like that, because that was
Yes.
Yeah. I love those comic book cover ones.
Yeah, I was a comic nerd as a kid, so when that one popped up, we immediately bought it, and yeah, I'm
So
very.
You're more of a hoops fan than a baseball fan, right?
I am. Yeah.
No, I feel bad. I don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah, you've been saying that, Dan. You gotta hop
No,
on.
I got to get into basketball, evidently.
I'm very jealous that the Sixers picked up someone that the Mavs stupidly let go.
You're gonna like this. Get ready.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. Watch this.
Yeah.
You can see look what I made.
Yep, I know. I saw it on your Instagram. Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, you know what I just found out? My son told me he's not with the Sixers right now because his wife just tested positive for COVID, and I think they have a young baby. So
They do.
I don't even know if he's going to join the Sixers now.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, thoughts and prayers to her and everyone else out there.
Yep.
During this time. But yeah, so he's an amazing player. So I was very jealous but happy for him at the same time that he got picked up by the Sixers.
He's an assassin for sure.
He is. Yeah.
I have all the thoughts about that too.
Dan, you got to show some of your cards. Man. You got some cards handy there?
I got a few cards handy here.
Yeah, let's see them.
All right, let's see them.
When we get to that part of the interview, try not to jump the gun.
All right. So let's move towards that part of the interview. How do you choose what card you will use to create your masterpieces?
So that is a good question. I'm drawn to more like the vintage cards. So like I love cutting up those like Topps archives or throwbacks or any of those cards. I just love that, like anything pre 1986. Yeah, I think that was a Topps archive I cut up. Yeah, how many of my cards do you have, Frank?
I have 2 right now, but I'll have more. I love Larry Doby, so I had to buy that one.
Larry Doby is awesome.
That's the first one I bought from you. Actually, that's the first card you sold, right?
No, well, I gave you the Bo Jackson for free.
Yeah, I know that. But Larry, I purchased.
So this is actually a good story. This is how I met the mayor of Project 2020. Is we were in probably Sophia Chang's card room. We were just hanging out, and Frank out of nowhere is like, "You guys are all cool. I want to send everyone in this room a book that I wrote."
That's right. I remember now. Yeah.
And I was like, "What the?" And me being the like Seattleite that's like not trusting of anybody, I'm like, "Who the hell is this guy? Like, is this just a scam to get my address or what? Is this some like Nigerian email scam or like I didn't?" So I was like, "You're gonna give me a book? What's the deal, buddy?" And then sure enough, he seemed on the level and he seemed like a nice guy. And so I was like, "All right, if you send me a book, I'm gonna send you a card." And so I sent him a Bo Jackson card.
I did send the book, didn't I, Dan?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
I got it. And then he sent my daughter his next awesome book. Where's that book?
That one.
Yeah. My daughter doesn't like anything, and she was reading this. She's like, "I love this book. I'm going to put it in my room right now." So, yeah. So that was how Frank and I met. And then ever since then, he is one of the nicest people I've ever met. So
likewise, back at you, man.
He didn't even want to do this interview. I was like, "No, you get your ass in here. We're doing this interview." It's okay to cuss on this, right? Is there? Okay, I wasn't sure. So
no, I have a potty mouth, so you're fine.
Well, I was in the Navy, so I feel like I get an excuse to cuss for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Hey, what were we talking about?
Your cards, man. Your cards. How you pick your player.
Right. Thanks, Frank. Yeah. So I love vintagey cards. I've also been really trying to use my art as a platform for social justice, and so I've been really trying to. I think I have a whole lot of like Black Lives Matter cards. I put up like Larry Doby. I have a lot of Jackies. What other did I do? My girlfriend doesn't know if I have any other cards I've done. But I'm trying to, use it. Like I want to make a Kurt Flood card. I want to even, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think Marvin Mitchell was one of the first like player agents, player reps that really stuck up for the players because the players were treated like cattle for a long time. So anyway, so how I pick my cards is what I usually do. I think So I wanted to make like a Tony Gwynn card, for example. So I went on eBay and like bought a big Tony Gwynn lot of like 40 cards, and I would just go through them and find the best cards. So usually I liked things with like a vintage heritage border, or I think I did a lot of like no bleed borders where it would go to the, the whole design goes to the edge of the card. Like I think I have an Ichiro. Like this Ichiro is a like full no bleed.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I kind of dug that. But oh yeah, Hank Aaron. But most of the cards I use the vintage Topps design to, it's sort of what I'm drawn to and what I like making.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
I love when you go outside the borders too. You have a couple cards that go outside the borders.
I do actually. Actually, your Bo Jackson, one of my favorite cards that I made.
Yeah, I love this card, Dan.
Yeah,
awesome.
The only thing that sucks is I can't put it in a one touch.
Yeah.
So it's got to be in a little bag like that. But yeah, I love this one. I also made a Ricky Henderson that goes outside the borders.
Oh, I just saw that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are so awesome.
Yeah. Actually, the one I made you, Frank, goes outside the borders. So there you go.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's basically how I pick art. Oh, at this stage, I really have a hard time cutting up any card that's valuable. Like I made a card for Matt on Blake's team.
The Glaber one.
And it was a Glaber rookie, and I was just like, oh. I don't know. I feel bad about cutting it up yet, but I think at some point I'll get over that and be able to cut up more expensive cards. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So that's how I sort of pick the cards I use. But I'm trying to, I think part of an artist is growing, and so I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone and play with other cards and more ideas or things that aren't just vintage or Topps art cards.
Basketball, hoops. Got to get you into hoops, man.
Yeah.
I made a hockey card the other day. So
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm getting into hockey myself.
I know. I think
slowly,
that's
I'm
market.
getting there.
I made a long gone summer card too.
Yes, I saw this one. Yeah.
I don't know where the hockey card is right now. I'll have to.
Beautiful.
Oh, this is maybe my most favorite card I've ever made here. Though it's I made a Randy Johnson, but I really went to town on the art. He has 4 tons of arms and heads, and
that is beautiful. We like to call those on the House of Jordans podcast ghost.
Ghost.
Like it's like we call them like ghost Jordans when there's multiple in one.
Oh,
in, like moving in motion.
Yeah.
We're it's ghost. Yeah.
I collect those upper deck ones like that.
Yes.
In the 90s, upper decks made all those like 3 triple shot things, ghost cards. Okay.
I don't know what I'm sure there's actually a name, but I just call them ghost cards. And the
Here's
boys
the hockey card I made.
This is
the only hockey card I've made so far.
Oh wow. It's really cool.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel this one as much yet, but maybe it'll grow on me.
Well, do you watch hockey?
I don't watch hockey. It actually
that's why.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about hockey. It was from my old boss. I hit her up on Instagram. I was like, "Hey, who's your favorite hockey player? I'll make you a card." And she was like, "Guy Lafleur." And I was like, "I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna do it." So
someone told me it's pronounced Guy.
Guy.
Oh, is it?
Lafleur, yeah.
Sorry, Guy, if you're listening.
Yeah. He's not. But yeah, someone got mad at me when I was like, Guy Lafleur. Like, what? I was like, sorry, guys. 7th grade French is not doing it for me here now. Yeah,
who's that famous goalie? Patrick Waugh?
Yeah.
But your name isn't Waugh, it's Roy. I'm confused.
Yes.
As a good American, like that, I know Roy when I see it.
Yes. And Frank, how do you choose which cards, like Ryan broke off?
Which so I said earlier, I think it was backstage. I'm not really a legit artist like Dan, but I just started doing this really because of the Project 2020, and because I teach 6th grade. My partner in teaching, he's a colleague, Colin McCarthy, and a good friend of mine. I really just started with these prisms. I started painting these cards that I have, bases. Then I started getting into some of the more expensive ones. Our goal is to collect a bunch of cards for this upcoming year, and hopefully we'll be back in school where we can have our 5th and 6th graders research, like Sophia Chang does, research nicknames and numbers, and then paint the cards. So it'll be a card painting club. And we actually, Dan's inspired us too. Dan, I don't know if I told you, Colin's going to try to start. He actually did. I don't know if he showed you. He started cutting some cards too, and he's told me how hard it is. It's crazy hard. So you have to give him some maybe some
where is that
little skill share on the tools to use. But we don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to have kids cut cards exactly. That's why we'll probably stick to painting. But
you've used an X-Acto knife, right?
Exactly.
I use an X-Acto knife.
Yeah. So this is one I did. I love Matisse Thybulle. It's actually it's worth maybe $10. It's a relic card with his jersey. But so this quote says, she never let anything stop her. And that's about his mom, who he lost to leukemia. So there's different things I'll put on the cards. And I just posted, the first one I did was Gallinari, the former Knick, Danilo Gallinari. I just posted on eBay for fun and had most of the proceeds go to a foundation. It was the Vanessa and Kobe Foundation, and someone bought it for $23. I'm like, man. So I posted the Cam Reddish, and someone bought that for like $23. So I just post them for fun. I'll probably keep doing one each time one sells. I'll post another. I just look for fun things. Like this is another Sixer who I love. I love Al Horford, and his nickname is the Godfather. So there's like a little, movie, and he went to Florida, so that's a Gator's tail. So I'll do different things, different numbers. So what makes me choose the card is just a player that I like and I want to research. I'm really excited for the kids to do legit research and then have that sort of manifest itself with their imagination on a card. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Plus, it's a great way to get them interested in research.
Totally.
Right? Making them research a player that they already like and then make it creative and not just like write a paper of this research. Like put some creativity into it. I love this idea. Yeah, this is awesome.
I might even have them write after. We'll have them write like what each thing means, because I've done different things. Like I did this Jimmy Butler card, and I have to go back and remember what some of these things mean, these numbers and words that I have on here. I don't even remember them all. So
like a little key to slide in the back of the bag. Yeah.
Get a spreadsheet
and that's
going.
what Sophia does on her cards. With these cards she does, I mean, there's little allusions, or what we call Easter eggs, to different things. You know, Kristina, what she does, and Dan does too. And it's really cool to just look at that. I love that aspect. FDOT does it. A lot of these guys do it. It's great. Sophia's the only woman, so she's the only female doing it.
Yeah. Awesome. So this is how you pick the cards. So can you walk me through like your process? Like what initially inspires you all the way through the finished product? Go.
Sure. Well, before I wanted to talk about this. Before.
Oh, he has like a blue thing on his finger.
It's it's a what is this? It's a finger cutter. For my girlfriend's, when she does embroidery, she uses it.
Okay.
So I was using the X-Acto knife so much, I actually started to get a callus on my index finger.
Wow.
So I had to start researching like the grips or fluffier pens, so I think I got like a rubber gripped X-Acto knife now. But all right, so I'll walk you through the process. I'll walk you through the process with your card because I was thinking about it today. Kristina is a big Jeter fan, so I was gonna make her do a Jeter card.
Yeah. I apologize to my family. I grew up in Connecticut, so literally half of my family, most of my family is Red Sox fan, and then my godfather is a Yankee fan. Okay. And I'm very close with my godfather, so as a kid, I would sit with him and watch the Yankee games during family like events and dinners. So I grew up as a Yankee fan, and of course, Jeter is the GOAT. So I apologize to my sister and her family and my uncle. And
do I need to make a Tom Brady card? Or actually, what does New England think about Tom Brady now? Is he the Antichrist?
I'm still a fan. He got us 6 rings, so like he was never paid well. You know, That's you have Mahomes making $500 million. for 10 years. After one Super Bowl, Brady got us 6, and he never made anywhere near that. So God bless him and let him go down to Florida like every good New Englander and retire and have fun down in Florida.
That's true. Huh?
Yeah.
Go retire. Run out your days in Florida, Tom.
Nope.
That's true. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I only had 4 Jeter cards. So basically, where's the thing? So I think I ended up with the top 2.
Okay.
And what I was going to do was use this Upper Deck vintage one.
Love
and
that.
I thought it went well with this image of Jeter. So basically what I did was I started like coming up in my mind good layouts of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Like what part do I want Jeter on? And then you start looking at the color schemes. You know, like, I've been doing a lot of the gold and silver.
Okay.
Shiny, because it looks really cool. But like I've done other ones. Like I did where's that other guy? I did a Max Scherzer with red, and I thought that turned out cool. But yeah. So then I get the design of it, and then I start like kind of layering it up. So you sort of like start playing with the layouts in your head, and that. So yeah, it sort of just comes to me as you start looking at the card and cutting things out.
Dan, do you ever sketch anything out?
Oh,
What?
Frank, I feel like Frank, I could just like hop off and conduct this interview by now.
I bring Frank to do all my interviews. You just sit there and Frank will do all the interviews. But
I was wondering if you ever if you sketch it out, I want those sketches, man.
I don't actually sketch them out. What I do actually, once you cut it all out, so I'll get like the frame, and then I'll get all the Jeters that I'll be using in here, and then you just sort of like can like move them around and test that kind of thing. And so
like Tetris.
Kind of. And so what I end up doing though is I'll put them in an orientation. I'll take a picture and I'll kind of look at the picture. But yeah, so I have some of the pictures of the cards. And then actually what I started doing that Frank inspired me to do was every one of the cards comes with the certificate of authenticity, kind of like a curator card that has the name of it, has like mixed media, what's in it.
Nice.
And then, but each one of the cards is made from the cut-ups. Oh.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, cut-ups of cards I've used for that card. So I thought that's a fun touch. But yeah, Frank inspired me to do that. So yeah, so it's not a lot drawn out in my head. But I also think too, the more I do these, like I feel like my first couple of cards were not good, but the more I do it and the more I get a feel for it, I feel like they keep getting better and better. So I think that's a good sign that I like the direction it's heading.
That's awesome. It'll be fun to see your progression too, as your style changes.
I love it.
You find like what you like versus like what you're testing on different cards, and like I'm excited to see where your journey continues.
I know. I agree, because I was thinking the other day, like I love those chrome backgrounds, but at a certain point, I don't want to be like, oh, like, that's the guy that does chrome backgrounds, Like, and so you want to keep like adapting and trying new things and playing with new stuff. So
that's why I love the bow card. The colors in the bow card are awesome.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Frank, how do you pick your cards? Or not pick your cards, but after, how do you get inspiration for your cards? And then walk us through.
Tell you what, I put these on, first of all.
Are those bifocals? Wait, where'd Frank go?
You
lost Frank again.
I most exclusively use just these Sharpie.
Okay, paint pen.
I use water base. I haven't gone into oil base yet. I think the oil base will work on the foil. Painting on foil is much easier. That's why I use a lot of the Panini prisms. I've painted on some. Let me see if I have one. I don't think I have it here, but I've painted on some cards. It's old Topps cards, and it just doesn't work as well. It looks way better on the foil. But
have you got the pens that Sophia got?
I didn't try that yet, but my friend did.
Yeah,
Colin did get them. Yeah, and he says, but he didn't use them yet.
What kind of pens were
mailed to a different house, I think. But I was looking for a card that I did. I did a Bo Jackson card that's really cool. I should actually give that to you, Dan.
What are they? Posca?
Posca pens? But yeah, it's like a paint pen, but it's really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, Kristina, so I'll actually research as I paint. So when I was doing Cam's card, I was actually texting his dad, Cam Reddish's card, about some things about his college career and putting his numbers on there. And he's like, nah, man, let Cam have this. So when I made that card, I was actually texting him about what to do on the card, but I don't have that option with all players. But so I'll research as I go, and then I'll just
you don't have everyone's father in your phone.
No, I don't. No. I don't even know Cam that well. I mean, I know Cam, but it's not like I have Cam's number, but I got his dad's number. Oh, here it is. I did one of these. This is sort of cool. I think you'll like this, Dan, and Kristina. I'll take it out. I did this Bo card, but this has a different finish than the old ones.
Oh, cool.
Because Bo was an archer, and that's why I had like a target on there. And I had that actually alludes to when he was at Auburn, 4th down over the top, and he scored to beat Alabama. So that's why that's on there. And I call them like numbers and words, and it's more really words and numbers. But I realized they don't look that cool unless I start putting something. This was a nightmare. This is one of my worst cards. This is I love Drew Holiday. I tried to paint a dime, but it's so hard to draw a dime. You can see.
Yeah, so, I don't think I've ever tried.
I think it looks really cool. It looks very impressionistic.
Yeah, that's a polite way to say it doesn't look like a dime. I appreciate that.
No, like it does. It does look like dime. Like I'm not trying to. I'm maybe impressed. I'm not. I took one art history class, and it was like art history of like Napoli. So like I'm not well versed in like my art.
I like that though. Thanks.
It's very cubist. It's a cubist.
If you want to talk about Baroque art versus like like something else in Napoli, like in Naples, like we could talk about that. And like
I think Sophia's into that art, that Baroque art. Yeah.
Talk about Baroque, and I wanted to correct her, but I didn't want to correct Sophia Chang on the interview. So.
Actually, Sophia.
So really, that's it for me. I research as I go. That's not a good model for my kids. I want my kids to research, my students to research first, then be ready to come in. I want actually Dan and them to sketch it out because these are like, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, and there'll be some tears if they try to paint first. The foil cards are cool too. I can paint on there, and I can just wipe it away if it doesn't work. I can't do that on those, like, cardboard kind of cards.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty easy process. Again, Dan will keep shaking his head, but Dan's going to be big time. I'm not going to be. I'll stick with my kids' books. I'm not really an artist. It's just my frustrated.
He's already big time. He's a big time writer.
He is.
I'll send you a Babe Ruth book too, Kristina, so you can have one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to paint any Jeter cards for you. Sorry.
You can paint basketball.
Because Jeter's not the GOAT.
To a little girl in New Haven, Connecticut. Yes. Yeah. I've only ever been to Yankee Stadium. So yeah.
I like that. Cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I'm a big fan of the old time Yankees. My younger son's middle name is Garrick. His name is Chase Garrick Murphy. So
okay.
That's a big coincidence.
All right.
I'm also thinking that another Topps 2020 tie-in is, I think a lot of this is due to the pandemic and the whole Topps Project 2020. Because I think for the first month of COVID, I just lied on my couch and did nothing but watch TV. And then at a certain point, you got to be like, what, you kind of like, have I done anything? Am I going to do anything for this whole pandemic or just waste all this time? And so since I've done art my whole life, I was like, I think Topps Project 2020 inspired me. So I was like, these are super cool. I was like, I need to start making my art cards again. So I had done a few of them before this, like a couple years ago, but nothing was ever as, that good. And so, but it's been fun to do it since.
Nice. Yeah.
So,
I think we all went through that stage of like, are we going to just like, cancel 2020, or are we going to like be productive and use this time in some kind of fashion?
Yeah.
And what that means to different people varies, obviously. You guys create awesome art. Like my partners and I create a company.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Other people, like I've seen other people like start writing like novels and things.
Yeah.
And you find these other universes, right, Kristina? So like the kidlit world, like children's book universe, is really full of really great people. And I've found quickly that the card collecting community is really full of generous, kind people. There's people in some of the chat rooms that are, not cool. I just don't roll with those people. I even on Discord, I pretty much stick for the most part, either, mostly with Sophia's Discord, but I'll venture into the Tops one and the and King Saladin. But that's pretty much it, because some of the shenanigans that go on in the other ones are not really cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, like society, there are people who are miserable, and misery loves company. But to those people, you just gotta, sigh and move on.
Just block those people. Yeah. I think there was like a COVID denier in one of the chat rooms. I was like, all right, how do you block people on Discord? So, done.
I didn't know you could block people on Discord.
Yeah. Super
can. Are you on Discord besides in any other chat rooms, or just the card ladder?
There's a card ladder chat. There's a card ladder Discord. Remember? You're going to join?
Are you in any other ones, though?
I am, but I'm not active. I'm in a Project 2021 that I was like super active in when I first found out about Project 2020. And then my own research project took off. So I've kind of not been able to keep up. And I feel like every time that like I go into Discord and I see that little red button over that, it like gives me anxiety, because I can only imagine how many hundreds of messages I've missed.
Yeah.
Like what all is happening in there, because Project 2020, when I started shifting, like not shifting away from it, but not focusing on it so much, was at its peak. Like I'm part of the problem of why Project 2020 dipped down, I think, because I was like steadily buying cards. And
did you stop?
I haven't stopped completely, but like I quickly realized like $20 sounds like it's fiscally responsible getting in on the ground floor at $20. But when you're buying 10 cards a week, $20 is no longer fiscally responsible.
Right.
Well, I think we were all in on my spreadsheet where I was making, enough to buy a house, right?
Yeah.
And I think I actually saw the House of Jordans because you guys had a podcast talking about Project 2020.
Yeah. I mean, so we're basketball people. Mm-hmm. So I think everyone in the audience has heard this, and I apologize. But like we're basketball people. So I had a couple people reach out because I talk about art and wax poetic, pun intended, about art and cards all the time on the podcast. Right. Like I do like little art house reviews of a card and like describe like the movement and how your eye follows this and how like your attention's drawn to this aspect of the card, and really go into detail. And the boys make fun of me because they'll be like 30 seconds, Kristina, like talk about this card. And like 5 minutes later, I'm still talking about the design of a card. And they're like, really? Like we haven't talked about any of the analytics. This is an analytics show, Kristina, which is why Kristina's Corner was born.
Well, that's just rude of them, except for giving you your own corner to talk
like,
art.
Fine, I'll get my own room. Like
I'll take my art and go to my room.
Yeah, pretty much. So
do you have an Ichiro baller for us or no?
I don't think so. I did not pick that one up.
That was the first card, right, Dan?
Yeah. No, I didn't know about it at first because
I didn't know. Yeah. I think card number 4 was the first one I saw.
Okay. I was a little further.
Yeah.
I think the first one I picked up was my Ted Williams.
Was it the Ermsey one, Ted Williams?
No, it was 34. Like, I was way late.
That's a nice one.
It is, yeah. My sister really likes this one. So I was really proud of myself when that one like went up. And then like I was like, I won Project 2020.
I know, right? I did, yeah. And then I have cards that I paid like $100 for that are worth like $40. And it's like one of them was like the Mariano Rivera one where I don't know. I love Project 2020, but that card, I was like, why did they include a card of him?
It's the worst card ever, yeah. And Sophia was the only one who saved it, yeah. Yeah,
Sophia put him in a uniform to take him out of like some Banana Republic outfit he was in.
Yeah.
It was just so bizarre, yeah. Such a weird card, but yeah. So I think I have one of those Mariano Riveras that I paid $100 for and is worth $40 now. But every time I stare at it, it makes me angry.
$60 isn't that bad of a loss though on Project 2020 when you're looking at what some people paid then. lost.
Well, I don't know how many you guys bought, but I have 5 of the Griffey Shores coming. So I know some people have like hundreds of those coming, but
yeah. I think I have one because I think Chris told me I had to buy it. And I was like, I don't think we should buy this one.
No.
And he was like, no, everyone's buying it. And I was like, then we definitely shouldn't buy it.
That's right.
Kristina, do you have a favorite Topps 2020 card?
It's really difficult.
Or what are some of your favorites?
Well, the Ted Williams Fauci. I don't know how to say his name.
I think that's right.
This one's definitely one of my favorites. It's probably an insult to say this to the artist, but I draw like this with no faces because I can't draw. So like I like really connected to this card and his style early on because I'm like, oh, like this is like something like that I could see myself making if I tried to do a Topps 2020. So I really enjoy his cards for that reason. And then obviously like I said, like most of my family is Red Sox fans. Blake Jameson's Mattingly.
Oh yeah, that Mattingly.
Are all on the top of the shelf. This one's one of my favorite too. I really like orange, so like that's why I like that card. Like I told you, my appreciation for art is very juvenile. Like it's not like an art history major who can really tell you why they like something or what makes it so like attractive to the human eye. Like I could talk to you about like why shiny things are important to humans because of like the cultural, historical, anthropological perspective on what attracts a human primate to shiny things. But like when you're talking about art, I'm like, it's pretty.
It's a shiny card.
Yeah.
Kristina, I'll show you a card just to show you how cool, like I said, the card community is. A guy who's a big Sophia collector, Sox fan, Danny. I can't pronounce Danny's last name. He gave me this. I mean, just gave it to me. This Ted Williams F. signed by F.
Autographs.
Oh wow. Yep.
He just
I have that one. It's not signed though. That's a beautiful card.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of generous people. There's a lot of generous people in the hobby. The card killer custom card I showed you. Yeah. He actually gifted that to me and Chris and the House of Jordans because he was like, I feel like my first Jordan belongs with the House of Jordans. And I was very excited. And Chris and I actually fight over it. Like it'll be on my desk and then I'll get up and make lunch. And then like I come back to go back to work and it's missing and it's over by his desk. And then like, you know, it makes its way around the room.
I like it.
Yeah.
I gotta look up Card Killer. I feel like I thought I was following. Is he on Instagram?
Card
Killer. Yeah, KARD.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean there's some amazingly generous people. I don't think I would be able to pick one Topps 2020 card.
Yeah, there's so many great ones.
By King Saladin.
Yeah, that's Saladin Peter. So
I love King.
It's just so iconically New York.
That's the card you have, right, Kristina?
I think so.
Yes, that's my card.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, that's a cool fucking card.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, I like the other thing is I like some of the direction.
One of one.
Yeah, that's.
And you could see Card Killer.
Oh, that looks like it's like gold foil.
Yeah, so it's not a rookie card. It's the I'm still on full screen. It's not the rookie 86 card. It's the gold 10-year anniversary card.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's still cool.
So it's a reprint that they made in all gold that he actually threatened to kill during our interview, and then when he did it, he secretly shipped it out to us, and
I feel like I feel like I need to be like cooler or edgier. Like I don't have a cool mask that I wear.
Like, yeah, like Optimus, like that. I love that.
Yeah, that guy too. That guy wears a mask.
I'll tell you, like Dan and him are my favorites. Like I just bought some of his cards. Optimus Bolts, really cool.
Yep.
I've been buying. I have 2 of his cards too. Yeah. I have a Bellinger and an Ichiro from him.
I love what artists are doing in the hobby right now. I really appreciate like all of your work. You guys are amazing. Like,
well, I think you're just seeing
come out with. I'm just like in awe of.
Well, I think this Project 2020 is just causing, and the pandemic is causing just so many people to start, and I think it's so cool. Yeah, so I'm with you. I love art as much as you, and I love finding new artists, and I think there's a guy named Adam's Cards that does some cool stuff. In fact, he actually has coins that he glued to the back of his cards.
Is that who you're collabing with, Dan? Yeah.
I contacted him. We're doing a collab. Like we're each starting a Juan Soto card and then sending it to the other person
to finish
it. Yeah.
So I love those cards. They're great.
Oh, I'm so excited for that one. So, but yeah, I like his stuff. His stuff's on eBay too. Give him a shout out. Modern baseball art is incredible. I've been collecting his stuff for a while.
Kristina, you got to hop on, man, and start painting or cutting.
I know.
I don't know if anyone wants to see that, Frank. I think my 7-year-old niece would be better than I would.
You can sell it to her. You can give her an eBay account and sell it to her.
She probably wouldn't even want it. She'd be like, "What did you make, Tia?" Like,
actually on Blake's streams too, live stream. Kristina, have you ever listened to or watched Blake's live stream?
Yeah.
He has a bunch of little kids on there, not just his nephews and nieces. There's a little girl named Claire. Remember Dan? Claire Art doing stuff like
Claire cards.
Really cool. Claire cards. Yeah, really cool. The little kids are getting involved in it, like I want our club to be. So it's great.
That's awesome.
No, I think.
All right. So speaking of art, how would you describe your artistic styles?
So personally, I feel like this is the area that I have to be better at. Like I feel like I'm not marketing at all myself. Like I just love to make art, and so I love baseball and art, and I love to just try new things and grow. So I don't know what my style is really, to be honest. I
can help you, Dan. I know an anthropologist.
Okay.
You can probably break it down and unpack it for you. Her name's Kristina. You should look her up, man.
Well, my cards are shiny. There's a lot of shiny to my cards, so that must be what attracts the human eye too. So I don't know. I don't know what I would say my style is or influences.
The 3D is the thing that drew me in, because I when I first saw it, I'm like, wait, is that how did he do that? I didn't know if it was a color copy. And then when you finally, or I looked on your Instagram, I forget. I think before I looked on your Instagram, I think you sent me, you just moved it around. Like, wow, you can't do it. You know what it's like? Yep. I'll give you a huge compliment. It's like a rainbow, right? You can't capture a rainbow with video or photography or even words, right? But so your cards, you have to hold them in your hand. You know, a video can capture it, but in your hand, it's badass in your hand, seeing it.
Yeah, that's when I was putting
badass is your style. There you go.
Badass. That's right. Yeah, when I was doing it on Instagram, I was trying to take a picture with like boomerang so you could sort of see the shininess of it. But there's also depth to them. Like I like building up the cards. Like cards have layers and backgrounds, and some of them get like to the 130 point level. So.
Now, do you put like resin or anything on top of it, or do you leave it raw? Okay.
I don't. I basically just leave them raw. I have been putting them in one touches and sealing them, so that kind of protects it. But
yeah.
But I didn't. Actually, that's not true. I tried in the very beginning to. One of my buddies is a construction guy. And so I was trying to encase them in like epoxy, but it turned out to be such a hassle. And I got the epoxy stuck to the glass and I couldn't get them apart. And so I had like glass everywhere outside and it was a total nightmare.
Yeah. I wouldn't like it as much. When you put it in a case too, and you can speak more to this, Kristina, it gives it sort of like that, it's in a case, right? It's on a stand. It just has a museum feel when it's like in a case, right? So, and it's beautiful not in the case, but somehow in the case, it just finishes it. So you're getting that finish in a case in a one touch that you were trying to achieve. But I still like to take it out and look at it if I can. I haven't done that, but I will eventually probably.
You should totally take it out. Yeah. I mean, I think I just have like, Avery address labels that I trimmed down to make the little steel part. So
we got to get you those fancy stickers.
I know. I was looking at that. I think I got a head on where to buy them, but I think I've also not sure what I want my logo or brand to be yet on it.
Yeah, like, like you got to get that. Like Sophia just got really cool ones, like that look.
Yeah,
you have a great name, Third Dan Art. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I just I don't know what to do yet, so I'm still thinking about that. What else did you say? Oh yeah. So they're not finished with anything, but I did play with the idea of encasing these cards in resin. I thought that'd be really kind of cool, but until I get like a silicone mold made, and that working with resin is just, it's kind of crazy. It's like 24-hour setup period. And
yeah, it's an intense process.
But I think on some of my art before, I have had like a matte spray or a high gloss spray to finish things, but I haven't really finished. I like the cards sort of like feeling like cards or looking like cards in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So my style to answer your questions really quick. It's research based. That's all it is. My art talent is limited, but I try to do things too. Like one of the reasons I did Barkley with the world, it's really sort of a loose interpretation of when he said he wasn't a role model. So having the whole world in his hands and the whole world watching him, that's why I had him dribble the world. And I just wanted to make the world look like it was, leaking or melting.
I thought it was crying.
Yeah, crying maybe too. Yeah, but remember when he said I don't know if you remember this. He said he wasn't a role model right after he put a guy through a whole window at a bar or something like that. So
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I did read that he racked up like $800,000 in gambling debts or something at one point too. But
I met him. I shook his hand. I worked for
Is it massive?
Oh my God.
Like a mitt?
His hand engulfed my hand. He's only like 6'3". His arms were so long. His butt was gigantic. His hand was, I have a pretty big hand. His hand was like 2 times the size of my hand, but he was really cool, really good dude.
Nice. That's cool.
So where do you find your inspiration to create? Like, it doesn't have to be like, it could be like from the world or like social events that are happening, or Ryan Brokoff has signed with the Sixers.
Well, my inspiration for that was to paint his card. My sons told me his nickname was the Accountant. I'm like, I got to do that. Then I remembered that movie with Ben Affleck. So I looked at that poster, and that's why I painted it like that. So it came across, and I just had the Accountant across. And I'm like, you know what? Let me look up some quotes about accountants. And the first thing that came up on Google Images was, relax, the accountant is here. So I'm like, should I put it in? Should I not put it in? And then I finally put it in. And I was going to try to do something with sign here with this, because this is an autograph card. But and I think this card's worth like $4. But so maybe it's worth more now. But anyway, like an accountant would sign. So sometimes I might learn something about someone, so I'll just paint it because of that name.
They also would call him the bloke in the corner.
Oh, right, because he's an Aussie, right? Yeah.
He would just like post up in the corner, and then Luca would feed him, and then he would just like sink threes like all night long from the corner.
My son said I should put an Australian flag on it, but I haven't done it yet, but maybe I will. I actually want him to take it. I put it out to Instagram on him. I'd like to just give it to him just to have.
That would be sick. Yeah. And then what about you, Dan?
So I was thinking that most of my cards are just the players, but like for the Sammy Sosa Maguire, was it Long Gone Summer? Was that the name of it?
I think so. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
But then it also reminded me of
the documentary
Summer about surfing. And so I tried to combine the look of a surfing poster with the Maguire and Sosa on it.
Ocean Pacific, yeah.
Yeah, you should Google that at some point. But I forgot the question again.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Oh, yeah, my whole life is baseball. My poor daughter, not a baseball fan, and so we're working on things. We can talk about that later, next interview. But just baseball as a kid, baseball now. And so I think that's it. I try to do people I like or events I like, or, cards of the players that I'm inspired by, type of thing. So I think I've done a lot of Mariners cards, a lot of Dodgers cards. And then
one of the coolest things you ever did was put Will Clark in the Dodgers uniform. Did you see that, Kristina? Abomination card. It's called an abomination card.
It was an abomination card.
Okay.
So Will Clark, do you know who Will Clark is? In the 80s, he was a first baseman for the Giants. But as a Dodgers fan, Dodgers and Giants, big enemies. But as a Dodgers fan, I always liked Will Clark. Yeah, that's like saying the Knickerbockers in the Phoenix Avalanches or fighting.
How about just like the Sox and Yankees?
Yeah, there you go. Sox and that's like a West Coast. Dodgers and Giants are like the Sox.
Okay.
So anyway, so I wanted to merge in my brain. I wanted to have Will Clark on the evil team be on the Dodgers. So I basically made a Will Clark card of him on the Dodgers. And I had Giants fans coming out of the woodwork to be like, putting the puke icon on the comments. And
my goodness.
So it did give me an idea. Someone gave me an idea of doing cards that never were. And so I was like, that's kind of cool to make a whole concept of. But it turns out it was really hard to like find cards, of the same pose of different uniforms to try to merge together. So
I can imagine. Yeah. It's really cool though.
So yeah. So mostly it's just players I really like or gifts. Like, I asked you who your favorite player is and I made him. I'm going to make you a Jeter. So
I'm very excited by this. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. And then some of it's stepping outside my comfort zone on, working on things that I don't know too well or things like that. So yeah.
I was thinking about you today, Dan, because I found some old like Thanos and Silver Surfer cards. I got to send you the Thanos card because you could do some really cool stuff with Thanos, Yeah,
it'd be cool to do like villains, or I've also wanted to do like one of my buddies is into boxers, so I was going to make a boxing card. Yeah, you tried to tell me to do a Muhammad Ali for Matt.
Yeah. I love boxing too. I love boxing cards. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so what were your first artistic aspirations?
As a kid, when you
like at any time, like did you always want to work with oil paint or be a kid literature art author? Did you always want to make sports cards and design them? Like what was your first that you can remember?
I don't think I ever thought of myself as being an artist. It was just something I did for fun. And in fact, I'm a programmer by day. I just do these cards at night. So yeah, I still don't think of myself as an artist. Like I'm a Leo, so in my head I'm amazing, but I'm still like, wait, other people like these cards too? Like are you sure? Like what's the scam? Are you guys all in on something? Like I'm watching all you guys. So I don't know. I've never thought of myself as a artist. I just like doing cards. I do have aspirations though. We can talk about that. You could probably help me with that next, but
right.
Talk to Frank.
So for me, for writing, the first book I remember writing, I was a little kid and I was a Sixers fan living in Philly, but born in California, but then Philly by 8. And then I always loved John Havlicek, just like, Dan said he liked Will Clark, but so this is like a violation, super sacrilegious, right? I love John Havlicek, who was a great Celtic. Because I remember watching a game with him like 4 overtimes or something with my dad. And when he retired, I remember cutting out like pictures from the Philadelphia Inquirer and making cardboard and stapling it together, making my first book. It was a book about like the end of the beginning, his retirement. I thought it was real deep and all. I wish I still had that book, but I don't. And then later on in life, I always liked to write poetry, stuff like that. But then later on, when I became a teacher almost 30 years ago, I started writing, trying to make history more fun and trying to write about women in history for little boys, even more than little girls, to read about so they could see like badass girls in history. Finally, I had a book published about, I think I have one here. Most of my books are about men, but I had a book about Clara Barton published last couple of years. So teaching really helped me get into writing kids' books. So it's not like I never even thought I'd be a teacher. I went to school for sports management and sports science. I got a master's in it, and I was an agent for a while. I don't think I ever told you that, Dan. I was an agent for like a year or two, trying to represent players. I would go to the Senior Bowl, and I almost landed Andre Collins and Blair Thomas, but like I was too young. They're like, "You're too young," So it's such a hard business. And then I finally got into teaching.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I used to be a nuclear engineer in the Navy.
Wow.
Yeah. I was in the Navy for 4 years, and I got out and was a programmer. So there you go. I was never an agent,
based on the West Coast.
What?
Were you based on the West Coast?
Yeah, I was based in Alameda, and then my aircraft carrier went up to Bremerton. So I got out of the Navy in Seattle, so I stayed up here.
Kristina, where do you live now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't have an awesome, like, I used to be story. It's really sad. Thanks,
Yeah, we don't
guys.
have the Jordans now. You don't need a used to story.
I guess. Yeah.
In 50 years, you can have people used to.
You'll be like, I used to run this YouTube program, but now I run Tops.
Yeah.
I run Panini from Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So what part of LA are you in right now?
To work for Panini America / if you guys are listening.
What's that again? You're going to work for them?
No, I said it would be a dream come true
Okay.
to work for Panini America. And then I said, if you're listening, hit me up and I'll send you my resume.
Well, I'm hoping Panini will do a 2020 or 2021 project for basketball. I really hope that happens.
I do too. I brought it up when I sat down with a Panini executive and I brought up Project 2020, and it was early. It was like right after the Ben Baller Trout sold. Okay. And I was like, have you seen this? And he was like, oh, we're paying attention. Like,
yeah, I watched that interview.
Tyson Beck alluded to something happening. I don't know if we talked about that, Dan, about something with basketball. I think there's going to be something that's happening that he's involved in.
Yeah, I'm sure they made him sign all sorts of crazy NDAs, but
yeah.
Well, he was also talking about like just him and Blake starting their own card company. They're like, we should just fucking do our own cards.
I'd buy him.
Yeah, I'll bet. And Blake said that Topps has been talking to him to do more stuff in the future, but
I mean, I would love to see, like, again, Sophia. I just bought some Sophia Chang T-shirts of Donovan Mitchell. They sent me the wrong ones, the NBA PA, but they're going to send me the right ones. I bought these shirts and they sent me this Donovan Mitchell like award that he won, but I'm waiting for the Donovan Mitchell like where it's him and it looks like a Sophia Chang card. So I know I think she's sort of a hoops head a little bit.
Yeah. I saw that card on her website. It looked really cool. Yeah.
We'll get Dan into hoops.
There's a lot of cool things happening in the hobby. A lot of like artistic hands that are coming out and carving their own paths and their own space in the hobby. And I'm very excited to be able to like document some of it on Kristina's Corner so that like when you guys all blow up, I could say like, oh, like I had them on my show and now they won't return my calls.
He will. I'll just be a fan. That's all.
It's nice not to return anyone's calls. I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you?
Frank's my agent. Just talk to Frank.
Oh, Frank's your agent. Nice. Okay.
He's old enough now. I'd hire him.
What do you guys listen to during studio time? Either when you're creating art or when you're writing?
I was ready for this one. I end up just putting on a lot of things on YouTube, but usually what happens is I love hip hop. And so I like Aesop Rock and who? Oh yeah. Childish Gambino and Run the Jewels. My girlfriend's feeding me all the music I like.
You really know.
Melissa Etheridge. I like her rap a lot. Ani DeFranco. No. So yeah. And then I'll end up just watching Topps 2020 like videos. So, I'll go watch Blake's video the night before or but usually it's I just have some sort of music on in the background. Or we were watching The Americans, which is an amazing show. It's on Amazon Prime right now. But a girlfriend got mad that I was using the paper cutter and slicer while she was trying to watch. So
I think you texted me that once. I was like, where are you with Blake? You're like, I'm watching The Americans with my girlfriend. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. So, all right. What do you do, Frank?
I don't really listen to music when I'm writing. It'd probably be a little bit too distracting. And when I paint, I don't even have a time for paint. I'll just paint cards if I have some time. But I mean, I like all kinds of music. So I mean, but I don't really listen to music when I'm working.
Okay.
What do you do while you're working? You just head down, quiet?
I can't listen to music with lyrics when I am working because I get distracted too easily. So I listen to a lot of classical music and then like beats by my favorite artist, Soul Eternity. And he does hip hop, R&B. So, so I listen to a lot of that stuff, like non-lyrical music.
Because you're an anthropologist, you would be unpacking the lyrics the whole time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why, but like I also I'm very much an auditory learner. So if I hear a song once, I will like sponge up those words. So the next time it plays on the radio or the next time I hear it, I can sing the whole song with it. So if I'm like
One go?
Yeah, in one go. So so if I am listening to a song with lyrics, like it's too engaging for my brain to be able to do multiple things. So I can't do lyrics. Yeah.
So did your boyfriend ever use that against you? Like plant an earworm and then sneak off?
No, he really hates it because like if we say something, like we have a conversation, I can then quote the entire conversation back to him and be like, remember you said, and then I said, and then you said, and then I said, and he's like, okay, I'll take out the trash. Like,
Well, is he learning to be a lawyer? He should be used to this by now.
yeah, he is. He graduated in May.
Nice.
Yeah, so
And
now
he's studying for the bar right now. Is that?
we're kind of just waiting to find out what's happening with the bar because it's been postponed. Yeah, the world has been postponed. I don't know if you noticed, Dan, taking your head out of your artwork and your computer software to realize the world's kind of shut down. So
Yeah, it's a different world out there.
yeah.
Well, I hope the law gets back together. I was just going to take this to like a Donald Trump thing, but I was like, nope, let's steer clear. Let's give that a wide berth.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest about something right now. I just went to a different tab just to check on Dan's card, and somebody outbid me. So I'm going to bid right now. I'll stay with you guys, but I have to bid on
Rude. Rude.
I'm sorry, Frank.
No, because I have to watch the time on Dan's card. I have to get this card.
We'll wait. That's fine. Just let us know.
Yeah.
So you see my eyes going. I'm looking. I'm bidding again right now.
Continue talking.
I'm gonna go make a cheeseburger and.
I am the high bidder.
Some pizza while we're in the middle of the interview. Keep talking. It's fine.
It was at Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Where he orders the pizza in the classroom.
I'm the high bidder again, Dan. I got 52 minutes left.
Congratulations, Frank. You should probably wait till the last 10 seconds and then snipe it, though.
I'm glad it's going to air like on the 28th and it's not live.
I use a sniper if I have to win an auction.
Yeah. Okay. So our last question, so Frank can go and watch the live auction that's happening.
You got to get that trout card, man.
That's true.
What is your ultimate Grail project?
So I'm glad you came to this question because I have some thoughts. I think the reason I started doing this, I was like, this is such a cool project. I would love to be involved in the next like Project 2021 or whatever the next art project is. But I was like, no one knows I'm good at art. No one's going to let me. So I have a funny story about that. I'll get back. Should I take this off my finger? Is that distracting? Sorry.
You can do whatever you'd like, Dan.
That's right. I'm an artist. I have to be eccentric, right?
Yeah, you're an artist. You can get away with anything.
And so I was like, that was my first sort of thing is like, I want to get really my card art skills up to hopefully be involved in some sort of card art project again. So I managed to track down who was it, Jeff? I forget his last name, but he's the manager of the Project 2020 thing. And I emailed him and I was like, hey, I wrote and edited this really great email. Here's all my links and all my art and stuff. And he was very nice. He wrote me back within like the day. It was very like kind of formal lettery. He's like, thank you for the information. We'll, keep in touch if anything comes up. So I'm hoping that I can hit him back after, I get a lot more followers or more art or more of a portfolio. But yeah, so I would love to be involved in the next big art project or small art project. I don't care. So
nice.
That's sort of my vision for the card art.
Or even Dan, not even a project, like just getting like a gig with them, like where you're like, I think Tyson has, or like, like where like you're part of a series and it's like, well, these 5 cards are done by Dan,
Yeah. No, I would love to any sort of involvement in a cool art project for Topps or Upper Deck or Panini.
Yeah. So my Grail project as a book would probably be I told Dan this recently. I was telling some guys, I think in the Discord with Sophia, that I had written a couple of Jackie Robinson books, but they're not published. And I spent time at the Library of Congress going through Jackie Robinson's papers. And it was really sort of just humbling to hold his first contract and hold letters that were fan letters and even hold letters that were, death threats to him. I mean, it was Jackie Robinson's papers. I had gloves on. I was, for some of the stuff, it was just amazing to be in the Library of Congress studying his stuff. So I'd still want to probably do a kid's book about Jackie Robinson or Roy Campanella. Roy Campanella, I've never told you, Dan, is one of my all-time favorite players. I actually met Roy Campanella at the 1989 Cooperstown Hall of Fame induction. I was walking. Yeah. He was there in a wheelchair. I walked up to him with my friend and his dad, and I shook his hand. It's the only time I ever got chills meeting someone. And I was like talking really fast about tasty cakes in Philly. And so Roy Campanella, if you don't know who he was a great player, one of like maybe the 5th African-American black player to play. He was on Jackie Robinson's team. And I always got to say I shook the hand that shook the hand of Jackie Robinson. So it was really cool. So I've always wanted to write a book about him too.
Yeah, Roy Campanella is fascinating too.
Yeah.
In fact, that whole remember that whole like nasty scene where I think it was Juan Marshall attacked him with a bat?
Yeah, I think I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in there too. But evidently they became really good friends after they were done playing. And, Roy Campanella was campaigning to get Juan Marshall in the Hall of Fame because that was anyway. Yeah, no, it's super great. He's a Dodger, so of course he's great. Like,
yeah, his whole life, Kristina, if you look him up, like he was a huge advocate for people with disabilities because he was a person who ended up being paralyzed. So he really, sort of like Magic Johnson with AIDS, Roy Campanella was someone who really, people don't know, brought national, not worldwide so much, but national attention to the plight of people who were bound to wheelchairs or had some kind of disability or different ability, I should say.
Oh, wow. That sounds like an amazing, inspirational story.
Yeah.
So I hope you end up writing both of those books.
Thanks. Thank you.
I want those books, Frank.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, me too. I have a godson and 2 nieces. So
I'll get your address. I'll hook you up. I'll send you a package this week.
Frank's got some books for you.
Keep turning out those awesome inspirational kids books because kids need them more than ever these days. So
yeah. Thanks, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, thank you both for joining me.
Do you want me to open up the?
Oh, we got to do that. We got to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Okay, we're gonna do a box rip of a mail day. So that's all anyone gets to know.
You want to see the name?
Sure.
Can you see it actually?
There you go.
Blake Jameson there.
Yep.
So I think in one of my drunken nights on his channel, I ordered a few of his fanny packs.
Nice.
So
now, is this for you, your daughter, or your girlfriend?
This is for me, dude. What?
Okay. I don't.
So evidently they're loaded with his art. Yeah. And a bonus art. And they're all signed and numbered.
Oh, wow.
I have 153.
Very nice.
So let's see. The first card I got is a Andresti Kino.
Okay.
The guy on the red. I don't know where my camera is. I'm just magically moving this around.
You got it.
It looks good. So this is a baseball card.
And it's got Blake's sticker on it.
Yeah, that Blake Jameson has painted on top of. It's not a Project 2020 card.
Okay. I just dropped it.
These are pretty cool. I've seen this work on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And on his stream. Okay.
My favorite pre-war pitcher named after a Muppet. Got some
Kermit.
And Grover Alexander.
Oh, Grover.
Looks like he throws in a couple of his business cards,
which are really cool.
Which are super cool.
That's awesome.
I guess people collect these business cards too. So.
I could see it. They're reprints of his artwork, so I could totally see.
Yeah. We got a A's pitcher, Sean Manetta.
And this is like his splatter
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
So I think he lays all these out and just does like crazy splatter paint art over all of them.
Yeah, seen film of it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Miguel Sano, got a good twin there. Oh, this is for you, Frank. I'm sending this to you.
Nice. Utley on the Dodgers. Yeah.
Chase Utley.
Which is abomination to me.
And then we got a Robin Ventura, the poor guy that Nolan Ryan punched in the face.
Yep.
And then the last card, which may be the best, is we got a Ronald Acuna Jr.
Wow, you landed that, man. That's awesome.
So yeah, so thanks, Blake. I'm glad we got this today so we could open it live.
That's awesome.
Got a mail Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, and it will air on Tuesday. Blake Jameson was the inspiration for Kristina's Corner.
What?
Yeah. I recorded my Topps Project 2020 segment for House of Jordans, and on the segment, I would only like be given 5 minutes of content, like on the hour-long show. Like they'd be like, you have 5 minutes to talk about whatever you want. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So I talked about Project 2020, and I said it would be really cool to interview Blake Jameson or Tyson Beck or any and all of the artists of Project 2020. And Blake Jameson reached out to my Twitter and was like, let's go. And
Blake, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he was my first guest.
I gotta go back and watch that, man. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. So how many have you got? You got three?
Three
of them? Okay.
There's still a lot of the year left. And with the way that 2020 has been slowly moving backwards, I feel like everyone's going to have a lot of time in the fall.
If we still have the internet.
Yeah, I know. God, can you imagine? Like, can we all just like think for a second if there was no internet and we were all stuck at home?
Yeah, what did people do back? They like read books or some bullshit. They went to bed at like 8 p.m. I think is what they did. Like, oh, sun's down, Martha. Time for bed. So I don't. Yeah, what did people do 100 years ago? Frank's not that much older than me, so I can't ask him.
But yeah, so thank you for sharing your mail day, Dan, and thank you, Frank and Dan, for being on tonight and talking with me about
thank you
sports cards, art, and card art. All of my favorite subjects rolled into one amazing conversation.
Well, it was a pleasure. It's so much fun to be on here.
Thank you. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, and make sure you follow Dan and Frank. You'll see their taglines for Instagram. I
got a link tree.
Themselves. Yes.
Yeah, we got to go because Frank's got to get to his auction. So
yeah, Frank is like signaling me right now to cut it out. All right, guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Kristina.